is Eddie C, and welcome to my Positive Podcast. I'll bring you positive stories of people from all walks of life, because everyone has a story to tell. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to MPP, my Positive Podcast, and I'm your host, Eddie C, and this is episode number 28. I hope you all have been doing well the last few weeks. I've been pretty busy myself with different projects, working with my photography, working on my music, doing some performances, teaching some private lessons from time to time, so quite a busy lifestyle. Speaking of busy lifestyles, this is going to be basically our theme today, and my guest has also a very busy but happy lifestyle. She's the hostess at a restaurant here in Antwerp. She's also working in the harbor and administration, and she's a DJ. So if you're curious about her story, sit back, relax, and stay positive. My name is Eddie C, and you're listening to my Positive Podcast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce my guest for this episode, Miss Cecile Van Camp. How you doing, Cecile?
I'm fine. Yes, I'm happy to be on your podcast show.
I know you have a pretty busy lifestyle and schedule. You want to tell my audience a little bit about you, because they don't know anything about you. And, you know, we met some time ago and we know each other from different situations, but it would be nice for you to inform my public a little bit about, you know, what you do and what you're doing now.
So, okay, so I'll start with myself. Since July, I'm 50. So a new half life is starting for me. I'm really social, and I still go out almost every evening. I live in the city of Antwerp, near the cathedral. I can almost touch the cathedral. When I'm on my balcony, I can almost touch it. So it's really cosmopolitan, Antwerp. So yeah, I'm happy to be part of the community also in Antwerp. And I love nightlife, of course. Since my 25, 30 music producer. So I work with Ableton, and I do some master mixing and audio mixing too. So, and sometimes, I perform as a DJ, mostly on festivals in the UK. A regular DJ at Give House of Honey organization, and it's on the land house of Sting. So it's always a costumed and themed, 4 days party. And I have a lot of friends live in England, of course. Also a burner, so I went to Burning Man in 2012. So it's a long time ago. And I lived almost most big cities like New York for 6 months. I lived 1 year in London where I tried to give the producer persona a chance. So I took 1 year off my sort of Sabbath year of my job. 5 years ago, I met someone who has a restaurant in the heart of Antwerp. We live also on top of the restaurant. And it's a Belgian kitchen, restaurantxaverius. And so mainly I work as a site secretary in chemical companies in the port of Antwerp. So I skip my time between being in the restaurant to be a representative for our clients, and in the other time I'm a site secretary. So I started 14 days ago on my new job. It's with a company from Finland. It's Cargo Tech, Kalmar division. So it's the big stackers who take the containers in the port of Antwerp. It's all the big machines. The big stackers is made in the company where I work for, and I'm a senior buyer. So again, totally different discipline.
Yeah, that's a complete different thing. How do you combine the music, the job, and the restaurant all together?
Well, the job is a job, yeah, and everything that I do is mainly I always but try to make the hobby in the job. So the restaurant is not the job because it's a lifestyle. I'm also the representative here, and I'm really fond of taking care of all the people, make sure they have an amazing evening. I try to suggest the local beers here. Belgium is of course the top of the top for Belgian beers, and I'm really proud also of our regional products and dishes. So it's not a job actually. The restaurant is really like it's a lifestyle. In my head, I try to imagine with everyone, single one who is entering the restaurant, when they go home and they go in their beds and they take their duvet and they just think about the evening and that they say, "Damn, it was a fantastic evening," and they go sleep with a smile on their face. That's why I do it. There's nothing more satisfying also for the ego or for, to be there to make a few seconds or a few minutes or a half an hour of someone's life. It's an experience. I never had the money to go out restaurants. It was mainly with my inner circle. Everyone brought something like wine or whatever. We always had some picnics around everywhere. We went with our own booths and food and stuff like that. And we also had the same amazing time. But so I know what it is to appreciate to have people who would love to spend their evening at our restaurant or their money or whatever to give them the full around experience. So I love it, and I sometimes I tell a few anecdotes, some stories about Antwerp, like some little secrets why they do this or do that, and I tell the story of the origin of the name Antwerp, because as you know, Antwerp, Ant is hand,
right,
and werp is throwing, so it's hand throwing, and it's about a story like a David and Goliath story. There was a little sort of Robin Hood figure, and he was really good for all the people in his city. And there was a giant. He was really nasty. He was a traitor of all people. He took them money. He was a really traitor. So on one day, the little one, so the David one, his name is actually Brabo. He said, if I ever get hold of the guy, of the giant, I'm going to remove him and stuff like that. So one day he got caught up with him. So he chopped off his hand of the giant, so he couldn't arrest any people anymore. And he threw it to the other side of our Schelde rivers. And since that day, of course, it's anecdotal. I don't know if it ever happened, but they always say where there's fire, there's where there's smoke, there's fire. So there must be a true origin to the story. So that's why he was a hero, and everyone was happy again. And
that's how Antwerp got its name.
That's the story about Antwerp, and it's so cute to tell people because they have no idea where the name Antwerp comes from.
Yeah, you see the statue in the center part of the town. Yeah,
but nobody thinks like, what is it doing and why is it throwing a hand? Because it's a really beautiful statue.
It is a very beautiful statue. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I when I tell the story, they because everywhere in Antwerp you see hands, like on the cookie boxes, everything that's typically from Antwerp or like the city of Antwerp. Right. You all see a red hand like this, but not all people know what the story behind the hand.
Okay, all right.
And it's actually, the word says itself, Antwerp, hand throwing.
I was actually fortunate to be told that story some time ago as well.
Yes, and also sometimes I tell a dirty joke, and then the ice is broken. I always.
Well, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question about your music, because you've been busy, of course, as a DJ,
Yes.
like you said, working in England quite a
Yeah,
lot.
and I have 21 albums also that I produced. With on each album, my own producing. In the formal days, I produced sometimes with two other friends, and yeah, they were all my friends. They're like, there's something is not right for them, but that makes them so charming, and they're not completely perfect, but that's the way they are, and that makes it so perfect. I always try to imagine my inner circle of friends or people in my life, like in the Muppet Show with the balcony, and they're all so bright and colorful people. They're all a bit nuts, but we have one thing in main common, and that's laughing. A day without a laugh is a day without yeah. There's nothing more than and there's nothing so healthy than laughing. I love to laugh.
Absolutely.
I'm a true a hooker when I can have a laugh. So,
Cecile, can you tell me a little bit more about your work as a DJ? How did it get started?
Well, it all started a bit at home, and then one of my best friends, he was going to open a really famous cafe called Bar Tabac, and I was there the resident DJ for 4 years. It was an underground bar, so when all the after parties were at the place, and yeah, from there on it went like crazy. So that was actually the baby of the story of the DJ. And then of course I went to since 2014 I already went to GIF Festival, to the House of Money organization in London. From one thing came another, and someday there was from Seamless Records, a guy, also a producer, and I just had recorded a track called Pornogamy. So it's of porn and origami, and it's a porn. I mean, it's a track. It's sort of it's house, but it's a lounge house, and in the background you hear porn scene with a woman who is doing stuff to a guy with a whip and stuff like that. But it's like, it's sweet. It's not masochistic or stuff like that. And you hear piano recital. It's a friend of mine who is at school. He is doing piano recitals, and I asked him to do a live recital in the background. So, and he heard the track, and he found it so original to have a combination of a house track and porn. I played in all the discotheques in Antwerp, so in Café d'Anvers, in Ampère, and a few other places. Yeah, most places in Antwerp. First, I did because I had with my soulmate I had a sort of Belgian Beer Day festival, and I wanted to have a mix to play in the background at a festival. So, and the one thing that's mainstream for everyone, that's 80s music. I love 80s music. So I made a sort of mix tape to play in the background for like 18 hours or whatever. So, and that, I think it started from there. I love to mix, and then within the years, some people they showed me how to proper mix and stuff like that. So I'm a quick learner, and I'm always open to work together, because I'm brought up with Sesame Street, and they call it samenwerking. It's working together. So, and I'm always fond of working together with someone.
Getting back to this whole lifestyle that you have, which is, like I said, a combination of your DJing and the nightlife and the restaurant, and then the job, as you said, is if you had a choice of going in one or the other direction, which one would it be for you?
Oh, I can't choose. It's in my life, and I made it so that it's fluently walking in and out. So I'm always been like that. I'm a girl of thousand things, and maybe if I would stop something, then I would take another thing. But I'm that's me. I'm really diverse, and it's never one thing alone. So I would search for something else if I would lose anything, like one of the disciplines that you talked earlier. Then I would possibly search for another one, or something else would come in place. That's my life. It's like Sesame Street. I like a Muppet Show. It's it's always like a motley crew. It's always diverse, and all the people that I meet also. I love to connect people, also to connect people that I know inside in other places and other friend restaurants, like Pelgrim House. I'm really fond of it. So
It's a wonderful place.
for the people, if you haven't been in Pelgrim House in Antwerp, you should go. They're the nicest people. It's a motley crew also. If you see the people who work there, you know, they fit with me. They're completely nuts, but they're so professional. They love what they do, and they do it with a lot of joy. You can expect them, to suddenly dance, disco, whatever. They're free, and they know what they do. They have crazy products it's really one of the best restaurants. And also only for maybe the people who work there, you would only go for them. It's amazing how it's weird. It's like a roller coaster. It's always, when you come out, you always met someone new. It's really easy to get to know someone new in your life, and everything is happening there. I always, when I come out, I always come out with some business cards and a nice chat. It's always fun.
Let me ask you this question: how would you advise, let's say, some of the younger people today, as far as their lifestyle is? Because a lot of young people, of course, are addicted to their smartphones and to their tablets and social media. What would you say to these young folks today?
A part of their hormones, because they have, in first place, their hormones. You can't do anything about them. So I would say, like, take care of your friends. Have the moments with your inner circle. It's really important, because within time, sometimes you lose them, and it's really important for your later life to look back on it. It's a learning school. The learning school are your friends. So whoever you try to meet are open for conversations with new people. And if you don't go out, you don't get to meet or get to become in situations. So it's always good. For everything that you learn, it's always a growing process. We call it a Sesame Street, again, working together. And I would say, in first place, try to enjoy the atmosphere, take it up, and try to avoid drugs. Drugs doesn't make it to go like a really living. No, it's the little small things, the details, the people you meet, and it's always good to meet people. They always give you another view on situations. And when you're sometimes down, go outside, sit in a park or on a bench. I'm sure you will see other people with different kind of problems. So it seems that your own problem is actually no problem at all, but a luxury problem. So just look around. It's so fun in your life to watch people also. We're monkey see, monkey do, and we're strange creatures. But it's lovely how people are. People are colorful, and try to be open for music, for atmosphere. Soak it all up. I would say then enjoy it.
Right away,
Especially.
had a wonderful
Do it while you
conversation.
can.
You are a very colorful, warm person. We've met each other some time ago, and yes, absolutely.
Also in Belgium, yeah, I met a lot of people and really amazing people, artists like you. So I was already following you a bit, and I had no idea that you were going to perform there. So when John told me, I said, "What?" And he told me that you're living around here. I said, "What? He's living here?" I had no idea that he was living here. So the first night that you had a gig there, unfortunately, my friend here, he got a heart failure, so I wasn't able to come, of course. And yeah, I was so lucky that after I think the week after that, I met you in person, and I was like, wow, it's like crazy. It's always when you look up to someone with like in a further step to life, or yeah, I look up to these people, and you're so colorful. Also, you're a bit like confetti. You're really colorful, and you keep the sticking. And like confetti sticks to you. Yeah, okay. It's everywhere, all over the place.
Okay.
Well, and I love it that way.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing a bit about your life and your joy about your lifestyle. Your humor. It's and you're right. A day without laughter is not living at all.
No, it's the only thing we have. Actually, it's a treasure. It's the only thing we're capable of doing. So negative will always be negative, and positivity is there's nothing more in life. We have a saying in Belgium, or a Flemish saying. It's trees, they don't meet each other, but people do. And that's true.
And that's it.
You have to be open for all kinds of people. It's like the Ark of Noah. I see it like that.
Okay, fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your wonderful joy and lifestyle with me and my public.
Well, it was my first podcast ever, so I can bring that out. It was really amazing.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. And we'll see each other, of course, in town. I'm probably at the Pilgrim House.
Of course.
Alrighty.
More than ever now.
Alrighty. Thank you, sister.
So thank you for the experience. It was really, you're always fun to have an experience with.
Thank you.
You're a shining light. You have a big, bright aura. So
I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Okay.
And your smile is like a rifle. It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's really addictive, let's say.
I appreciate that very much. Okay. Well, look, you take care, and we'll talk to each other soon.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Because
thank you. Bye-bye. A lot of love to you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
This is MPP, and I'm Eddie C. Well, I hope you enjoyed the conversation I had with Cecile. And yes, she has quite a busy lifestyle. Speaking of lifestyle, let's touch on that for a moment. We have a tendency of saying as you get older, you start to slow down. I've actually found that I'm busier now than I was maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I think one of the reasons of that is because of the experiences you pick up over the years. You settle in certain ways, maybe about how you want certain things to be, but you keep yourself busy. And I think that's a secret of keeping yourself also young in spirit and heart. Not stopping. Just because you reach a certain age doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, because that's like putting one foot in the grave, if you ask me. So I think it's very important to keep yourself busy. You can pursue the hobbies and the things that you maybe didn't have a chance to do when you were younger because you were busy working. I was always told, you work to live and you don't live to work. So that's very important as well. And once again, there's a richness that you create over the years as you get older. And a lot of people think back, if you look back, and I know personally when I look back at my life, let's say 15, 20 years ago, as busy as I was focused on trying to be that successful person, trying to make ends meet and all of the things that need to happen. Of course, you still have to make ends meet when you get older as well. But you take a different attitude towards it because it's not that important anymore about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have and how you go about sharing your experiences with others. And that's a richness which is very, very important in your life. And you'll discover that as you mature. So on those words, here's my quote. Lifestyle. Waking up with a smile to set the mood for a pleasant day. A nice cup of coffee or tea before you go out your door to achieve today's goals. Moments you share with colleagues, friends, and family. A walk in town, or the park, or by the sea to touch base with your surroundings. Hanging out with your loved ones at a cafe or event. Just some quiet moments at home to feel grateful and relaxed after a long day's work. The lifestyle that makes you happy and fulfilled when you close your eyes at night. Well, that's about all for this episode, my friends. But before I go, I'd like to thank my guest, Miss Cecile Van Camp, for coming on and sharing her story and experiences around lifestyle. And remember, lifestyle is a choice, not a task. Until next time, you can find me on all platforms like Spotify, Android, and Apple. On Facebook, look for My Positive Podcast, and my website is mypositivepodcast.com. You can also contact me via my website or Facebook. A very special thanks to my technical producer, Iswan. This show is a production by Antwerp Podcast Service. My name is Eddie C., and this was MPP, My Positive Podcast. Tune in next time and stay positive.